Welcome back, everyone. Let's just jump straight into it today because this explainer is all about the absolute spectacle that is the 2026 World Cup. I mean, the tournament is barely even underway, and it is already delivering an unprecedented level of scale, early chaos, and completely script-flipping moments. We are going to dissect exactly how this massive, newly expanded tournament is literally changing the way international football is played. So let's dive in. 54 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That is how many viewers tuned in across North America just for the opening matches featuring the three host nations. We're talking about a scale of engagement that is just completely shattering previous records. It's crystal clear right out of the gate that this isn't just another tournament. It's a moving, breathing festival that is capturing the attention of the entire globe. You know, FIFA President Gianni Infantino really hit the nail on the head with this quote. He said, "What we are witnessing here is truly historic, shattering records and showing how football is truly uniting the world." And it perfectly illustrates the sheer gravity of these opening days. This tournament is spread across three massive countries, and yet there's this incredible, unified, stadium-by-stadium electricity sweeping across North America. The crowds absolutely matter. The host cities matter, and as we're about to see, that wild atmosphere is directly impacting the action on the pitch.
Let's move to Section 1, the biggest stage yet, and the host nation advantage.
It's fascinating how the geography and the host nations themselves are acting as a genuine competitive force. These teams are really feeding off the immense occasion. Just look at the numbers. The United States pulled in a record-breaking 27.5 million viewers as they delivered an emphatic 4-1 statement win over Paraguay in LA. Mexico drew 23.4 million viewers during this chaotic, highly emotional 2-0 victory over South Africa at the legendary Azteca. And up north, 3.1 million Canadians watched a super dramatic 1-1 draw against Bosnia and Herzegovina in Toronto. The hosts definitely aren't just background characters here. Their home field emotion is giving them a massive, tangible advantage.
Right, moving on to Section 2, surviving the new format, a mathematical shift. Here's the catch, though. This massive global audience is tuning into a brand new, highly mathematical tournament structure. Honestly, everything we thought we knew about group stage survival, completely out the window. For a quarter of a century, we knew the math by heart. 32 teams, 8 groups of 4, 16 advance. Simple, right? Well, in this new reality, we've got 48 teams competing across 12 groups of 4. 2/3 of the field, that's 32 teams, will advance into a newly added round of 32. This drastically changes the pressure and the pacing of the entire tournament. Okay, so the absolutely crucial point here is exactly how a team makes that cut under these new rules. First and second place in each group, you're automatically through just like before. Fourth place, you're adding to the airport. But it's that third place row that is completely rewriting the tactical playbook. Because now, the 8 best third-place teams across all 12 groups will survive. And this creates what is essentially a high-stakes survival thriller. It's basically a tournament within the tournament. Think about it. In the past, if a team was losing 3-0, the game was pretty much over. They packed it in. Now, chasing a late goal to make it 3-1 is absolutely paramount. Because that tiny shift in goal difference could quietly be the one deciding factor between elimination and advancing as a third-place team. Every single goal, and honestly, every single card, matters until that final whistle. So with the margins for error shifted that significantly, it really begs the question, how do you actually survive a 48-team World Cup? Well, to answer that, we have to look closely at the on-pitch strategy and the tactical playbooks teams are bringing to the scrolling gauntlet. Which brings us to Section 3, tactical trends emerging early and adapting to the format.
So what specific, highly effective tactical trends are we already seeing to find this opening week? Well, managers are adapting incredibly fast. We are seeing a massive resurgence of the classic 4-4-2 mid-block, which is essentially teams sitting a bit deeper in the middle of the pitch to deal with the intense heat and preserve energy. To break that down, teams are attacking diagonally, something Morocco executed beautifully against Brazil. We're also seeing false nines, strikers dropping deep into the midfield to drag defenders totally out of position. Plus, we're seeing these incredibly fluid midfields, like how the US overwhelmed Paraguay. Oh, and definitely don't ignore set pieces. With stricter refereeing on grappling in the box, teams are weaponizing subtle near-post blocks to score absolutely crucial equalizer goals.
But here's the thing, all those tactics completely fall apart without this next point. Discipline is the first true tactical separator of 2026. Mexico's opener against South Africa is the perfect warning here. South Africa suffered a total disciplinary collapse, finishing the match with 3 red cards. Emotional frustration instantly turns into severe tactical damage on a stage this big. Simply keeping 11 men on the pitch is a baseline requirement for survival right now.
All right, Section 4, Rise of the Underdogs. Reputation means nothing.
So when you combine this newly expanded format with these emerging tactical equalizers we just talked about, what do you get? You get stunning early results. Look at Morocco going toe-to-toe with five-time champions Brazil for a 1-1 draw, or Qatar, who really struggled back in 2022, securing a stoppage-time 1-1 draw against a heavily favored Switzerland side. And how about South Korea mounting a brilliant 2-1 comeback victory against Czechia? These teams are proving that reputation alone absolutely does not win football matches anymore. They are taking the traditional script and turning it completely upside down.
And trust me, there are even more dangerous underdogs entering the fray who are absolutely not arriving just to be tourists. Take Ivory Coast, for example. They enter the tournament having just beaten France 2-1 in a pre-tournament match, so they are riding some incredible momentum. Then you have Panama arriving with a really strict structure and a physical edge, fully establishing themselves as Central America's strongest team right now. The traditional giants are officially on notice.
Let's look at Section 5, Stars of the First Act, Stepping Up.
Of course, none of these wild tactical shifts or underdog stories happen without the players themselves actually delivering these chaotic, script-flipping moments. The counter-expectation here is just fascinating. We kind of all expected the global superstars to carry the entire load. And yes, players like Christian Pulisic and Son Heung-min have been great, for sure. But the true early stars? It's the rising talents and the bench players. Fuller and Balogun scored twice for the U.S. to steal the headlines. Hwang In-beom delivered the crucial equalizer and assist for South Korea. The heavy lifting is being done by players stepping up out of nowhere to own the moment.
And honestly, nowhere is that more evident than with Canada's Cyle Larin. After starting on the bench against Bosnia, he came on in the 76th minute and scored almost immediately to rescue a 1-1 draw for his country. As he put it so perfectly, I score when Canada needs me. That single substitution completely changed the national mood in the stadium and rescued Canada's opening narrative just like that.
So the absolutely crucial takeaway from our tactical and player analysis is this. In a longer, much more physically demanding 40-18 tournament, the best teams aren't just the ones with the strongest starting 11 anymore. They're the ones with the clearest second-half plans. The bench is actively altering both the emotional and tactical direction of these matches. Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder. We have chaotic advancement rules, brilliant tactical equalizers, and fearless underdogs already rewriting the rules of engagement. In a tournament this vast, where literally a single late goal or a single red card can completely change the math for everyone, who will actually survive the ultimate cut? It's going to be a thrilling ride finding out. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes on the pitch.